Alright folks, well, Merry Christmas. We have finally gotten to that day. I hope you guys are taking the time and spending it with people close to you, friends and family, of course. And since it is Christmas, I thought that I would take this time and rank every single Christmas-themed Fortnite item from worst to best. There will be a couple of items that will be excluded from this video. First of all, Todoroki Ice Wall. I know it's ice, but it's not technically a Christmas item. Same thing with Ice Spice's Grappler. I mean, the Icy Grappler will be on this list. That's because it has been featured in a few Winterfest events now. But yeah, no Ice Spice Grappler and no bush. I know at some point there was a time when the bush would have the Christmas lights on it, but yeah, no, too niche. We're forgetting about that. If you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a like. Your guys' Christmas gift to me can be using code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop to help support my channel. But yeah, let's get right into this video. At my number 10 spot, the worst Christmas item in Fortnite history, it is the Chiller Trap. Now, before you attack me in the comment section, yes, I do understand this isn't technically a Christmas item, but hold on, it is very clearly a winter themed item, and so it had to make it on this list. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it any higher than last place. The Chiller Trap is by far the worst trap in Fortnite history. All it does, no damage. It just turns your feet into ice cubes. I mean, really, as a player using the Chiller Trap, what is this going to do for you? It is just totally useless. It is not only the worst trap, it is by far the worst Christmas item of all time. Anyways, at my number 9 spot, and not too much further ahead of the Chiller Trap, is the Chiller Grenade. This is a common rarity grenade, and when you throw it, it just has an explosion that once again does no damage and just turns your opponent or yourself's feet into ice cubes. Now, I will say the Chiller Grenade is actually decent mobility, right? Like if you want to get from point A to point B, you can throw it at your own feet, give yourself the snowy effect, and just kind of glide. In literally every other scenario besides mobility, I just don't see a use for the Chiller Grenade. At my number 8 spot is going to be the Snowy Flopper, and at least this item has a pretty good use. You eat it and you get your 40 white heals just like a regular flopper, but unfortunately at the end you get the icy feet effect. At least this time you get a benefit for the icy feet. You know, you get those 40 white heals. You're basically just eating a regular flopper, and the icy feet effect does not last terribly long on the Snowy Flopper. Look, I mean, in my opinion, what are you going to take? A regular flopper or a Snowy Flopper? 10 out of 10 times you're going to take the regular flopper. Again, like with these bottom three, we're just kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Nothing really great. At number 7 is actually a brand new item from Chapter 6 Season 1. It is the Blizzard Grenade. This grenade is a really weird item. In fact, it actually has literally the same exact design as the Chiller Grenade. They look exactly the same. Of course, this is a blue rarity item, but it's really interesting how it works. So basically, you throw it down and it creates this little circle blizzard, and anybody that's inside, it prevents sprinting, so you cannot sprint out of it. Totally slows your movement down, and it does 7 damage a tick. There's really no other item in Fortnite history like this. I think my closest comp to it would be maybe like the Stink Grenade. I think the really good use for the Blizzard Grenade here is that it forces somebody to move. Again, especially when you get into endgame, a lot of times players don't want to move. They want to sit in their box and they want for you to make the first move. But when you use the Blizzard Grenade on a player, it forces them to make the first move, and that is really good. Like if somebody is sitting in a 1x1, you throw the Blizzard Grenade at them, they don't have a choice but to move out of there or they will die. And for that reason, this item is actually a lot better than I thought it was. Again, though, 7 damage doesn't really move the needle very much. At number 6 is the Sneaky Snowman, and at first glance you might be like, well, how the heck did this item make it this high? I mean, really, all it is a reskinned bush, but that's actually what makes it really good, because as you guys know, the Sneaky Snowman will stop 1 damage. And that's actually really important, because if you get hit for a pump shot for, let's say, 200 right in your face, the Sneaky Snowman absorbs all of that damage, and you end up taking 0 damage, and the Sneaky Snowman just goes away. That is incredibly good, actually, if you think about it. I mean, think about it. You get sniped, right? Sneaky Snowman absorbs all the damage, you lose the Sneaky Snowman, and you walk away damage-free. Again, that is a really good ability, and it's almost kind of an underrated ability. I mean, that's why people love using the bush in Fortnite OG, because it absorbs that big damage shot, especially if someone comes right in your face with a pump shotgun. You don't take any damage for that first shot, and that can be the difference between winning a fight and losing a fight. Now, here's what I will say. Other than that little perk to the Sneaky Snowman, it is essentially useless. I mean, you're not going to hide from anybody using the Sneaky Snowman. It doesn't do any damage. So yeah, you're really just using it to absorb damage. But for that absorption ability, it's actually pretty decent. Moving on to my number 5 spot on this list, it is the Big Chill. This is an exotic snowball launcher that, well, doesn't do any damage. Now, I actually remember there being a bug with the Big Chill where, like, it would actually shoot through walls. So you would shoot this grenade launcher, it would explode on impact, and then somebody on the other side of that wall Snowball would actually end up getting the Icy Feet effect, and that made it really, really good. But of course, that was a bug that has been patched, and that was an unintended use. The only reason why it's better than some of the other Icy Feet items is, one, you get a lot more uses. You get 4 snowballs in the magazine, and you can shoot them much further. And this is one of those items that you can kind of spam at an opponent and really, really mess them up and get a big edge on them. It's really not my go-to exotic. In fact, I think it's one of the worst exotics, but I do see a couple times when the Big Chill could be a useful item, especially for mobility. For that, it can be really good. Anyways, moving on to my number 4 spot, I'm ready for the controversy in the comment section. It's surprisingly the Snowball launcher. Guys, we really have to have a conversation about the fall off of the Snowball launcher. It is atrocious now. This launcher in all rarities used to, when it was introduced, do 71, 75, 79, and 83 damage, but a nerf in Chapter 3 Season 1 and in Chapter 2 changed the entire projection of this weapon. It now only does 48, 50, 53, and 55 damage. Guys, that is almost a 30 damage nerf in every single rarity. Not only that, they also decreased the structure damage, and they also decreased the amount of snowballs in the magazine from 6 to 4. Now, the reason they did this was so that now the snowballs would become projectiles, so that they would explode on impact rather than, bouncing around. I mean, that damage nerf is horrible. I mean, think about that. 48 damage for a launcher. You are going to hit somebody, what? I'm going to try and do quick math here. What is that? 5 times if they have full shield with a snowball launcher to kill them. I mean, that's horrible. I'm telling you guys right now, the fall off of the snowball launcher needs to be studied, and it's not as good as you guys remember it being in early Chapter 1. Then it was actually really good. Now, not so much. At my number 3 spot is another brand new item introduced in Chapter 6 Season 1. It is the Icy Feet item, and what a weird item. It literally is a block of ice that you hold in your inventory, and it essentially just lets you activate and deactivate the Icy Feet effect whenever you want. And it has a duration bar of 100%, of course, all the way down to 0%. And this item is really, really good for a couple of reasons. I think my main problem with the Icy Feet is you really get the Icy Feet when you don't want it with a lot of these items. Stuff like the Snowy Flopper or the Big Chill, like you just kind of end up waiting for the ice effect to get off of your feet. Well, this item totally eliminates that. You can turn it on and turn it off whenever you want. In terms of mobility items, I mean, let's talk about it, guys. This could possibly be a top 10 mobility item of all time. My only problem is this item is really useless going up a hill. It's not going to work at all. It really only works on terrain that is at the same level as you or going downhill, but still, in those areas, the Icy Feet is going to absolutely excel. And surprisingly, again, I really like this item. Chapter 6 Season 1 did a good job with their Christmas/winter themed items. Anyways, guys, at my number 2 spot, the first item that I thought about when I made this video, it was the present. So you can essentially think of the holiday present as basically just a blue chest, one of the rare chests where you're basically guaranteed a purple or legendary item, some heal, some utility. Basically, that's all you get with the present, except the present can actually save you from some situations, of course, because it basically builds a 1x1 box for you. There's really, again, nothing much to say about the present. It's almost kind of a supply drop, and that's why it's a legendary item. You throw it wherever you want and you get your purple or legendary item. It's a decent item, but again, I think the usefulness of this item depends on how good the loot pool is that season, if you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying there. I like the holiday present. It's a classic Fortnite item, and it literally comes back in every single Winterfest. But at my number 1 spot is going to be another exotic item. It is the Icy Grappler, and again, not necessarily a Christmas item. I mean, it is because it has been in multiple Winterfest events now, but it clearly is a winter item, and it is a really good one at that. The Icy Grappler is essentially the Icy Feet item, but totally better, because the Icy Grappler, for one, is unlimited. You have unlimited uses with this, whereas the Icy Feet, obviously, you are on a duration. And the Icy Grappler, you can also go up hills. You can go up terrain, of course, grapple all the way up them, whereas with the Icy Feet item, you can't do that. In terms of mobility, I am pretty confident here in saying that this is a top 10 mobility item of all time. The only place where it really lacks and where the Icy Feet kind of beats it out is just sometimes those Icy Feet are so annoying. Like if you're grappling around and you get into a gunfight, you're going to be waiting 10-15 seconds before you can actually even think about fighting that person, and you're basically just going to be sitting in a 1x1 just waiting. When will these Icy Feet crack and go away so I can actually move like a normal Fortnite player? That is very annoying, but other than that, the Icy Grappler is a fantastic item. It is a great Christmas item, and in my opinion, it's the best. Alright guys, well that was my quick little Christmas ranking video. I wanted to make it short because I don't want to take too much of your guys' time away on your Christmas day, so go ahead and enjoy it with your friends and family. I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas. Christmas time. Make sure to enjoy it because it only comes around once a year. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.